Tonight at 6, I'm here live from the Center of Visual Arts where the Kent State Holiday Art Sale happened earlier. I'll give you a recap and tell you how you can get involved in tomorrow's event.
Were you born in the wrong generation? The Kent Stage has a concert series to scratch your nostalgic itch.
And Disney fans might need to open up their wallets to watch their favorite shows and movies. What changes the platform is doing on their subscriptions.
And get your Royals fix with this new series on Netflix. All these stories and more as your Thursday edition of TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good Thursday evening, Portage County, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Nathan Welsh.
And I'm Josh Aponte.
We start tonight with a holiday sale held on campus this afternoon.
Our reporter Alexandria Manthey is on the Center of Visual Arts with all the details. Hi, Alex.
Hi guys, that's right. If you still need to do your holiday shopping, the Kent State Art Sale is one way you can buy a gift to support a small maker this season. As you can see now, we are all boarded up, but tomorrow this area will be abuzz with crafters and customers. The sale includes a variety of works from various clubs and organizations. Some products include glass vessels, pottery, handmade jewelry, art prints, and handmade cards. The money goes towards small makers and programs within the art department. Staff members say this is one way to give students the opportunity to get their work noticed.
I know a bunch of these students because I've also taught here the past couple years, so being able to see their stuff actually go into a small business, so this is technically like a small business sale. It's really fun and cool to see how far they've come and all the crazy stuff that they can make. Some of these students have never been able to sell their work, or they don't know what to sell it for, and that's a really good way to find out what is your stuff worth and what can you sell it for and what is the turnover.
Tomorrow's sale will happen the same time as today's, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the CVS Gallery right here in the Center of Visual Arts. Reporting live from campus, I'm Alexandria Manthey.
Thank you, Alex. The Kent State University bookstore Fab will be hosting their last bingo event of the semester tonight at 7 p.m. in Tahini at the Rathskeller. You can walk in and take a seat right as you get there, and cards will be passed out at 6:45 p.m. to all who are sitting down. There will be 8 rounds of bingo, and prizes include winter wear, a Keurig and mug, Squishmallows, blankets, and snowball makers. Bingo capacity is only for 185 people, so make sure you go and secure your seat.
Kent State Interhall Council and the Office of Safety and Security hosted a Blizzard Bash in the Student Center Ballroom from 4 to 6 p.m. today. This event had raffle surprises like a vacuum cleaner, LED wall signs, fuzzy socks, and more. There were also ornament making, decorating your own cookie or gingerbread person, and winter-themed games to bring some fun as well to wrap up the semester and head back into winter break.
The Kent State University bookstore held a book signing and Meet the Author event today from 4 to 6 p.m. This event had author Irv Corman, who wrote stories like Citytown Christmas Conundrum, The 8 Nights of Hanukkah, Melton, The Adoptable Snowman, and The Legend of Hanukkah Harry. Author and Kent State alumni A. Talley was also signing books of her book, #Elfies with Santa.
Kent State University Division of Student Affairs offers opt-in to electronic W-2s and 1095Cs for a chance to win a $50 gift card. To enter the drawing, student employees, faculty, and staff must opt into electronic W-2s by noon on December 16th or January 13th. Opting in the online version will allow students and faculty to access these documents faster and advance with the university's sustainability efforts.
Hello, Kent State and all of Portage County. I'm your weather anchor, Alexa Blakely. Let's take a look at what's going on currently in Kent. So today it's a little bit chilly at 45 degrees, and that's close to what it actually feels like at 44. Low winds today moving north at 2 miles per hour, but very high humidity at 73%. We also have very low visibility today, so if you have to drive at night, just be extra careful. And taking a look farther into the evening, it's going to get a little bit chillier as the evening goes on, starting at 39 by 8, 37 by 10, and by midnight we're going to be at about 35 degrees. And it's going to be cloudy throughout the entire evening, but really low chances of rain. Now if we take a look at temperatures all across Ohio, we're seeing similar temperatures to what we're seeing. Lots of people are in the 40s. We have 46 in Cincinnati. And the lowest temperature we're seeing in Ohio today is in Akron at 39 degrees. Now if we zoom in on northeast Ohio, we're seeing some colder temperatures over here in Sandusky at 39 and Worcester at 38. And in Kent, we have one of the coldest temperatures, unfortunately, in northeast Ohio. Now that's all I have for you right now, but stay tuned because I'll be back later with the 7-day forecast.
Thanks, Alexa. If you love rock and roll, this is for you. Kent Stage announced a new monthly concert series, Throwback Thursday, featuring the best tribute acts in the country. Their first concert is tonight at 8 p.m. and will feature Satisfaction, the International Rolling Stones show. This show will be celebrating the 60th anniversary of the world's greatest rock and roll band, live at the Kent Stage downtown. Tickets are $20 in advance and $25 at the door.
It's the holiday season, and what better way to celebrate than to help those in need? Well, the Manthey Police Department is already on the job. The department is collecting new toys and cash donations for families who are less fortunate for the holidays. They are holding its second annual Fill a Cruiser at Dollar General on Main Street this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Popular East Coast convenience store Wawa has its sights on opening stores in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. The specific areas of each state getting a new store have not been announced yet, but estimated timeframes and the number of stores by state are coming in 2023. According to a release, the new stores are part of Wawa's long-term expansion plan to bring its experience to more communities in new market areas.
There's an update on what age children can receive the COVID-19 vaccine. What does it mean for parents and their children's health?
Find out which generation is beating out the others in their Christmas shopping habits. It might surprise you. From new delivery options to how to manage holiday stress, there are a lot of health updates.
Our correspondent Jacob Brooks has more details on today's top health stories.
Hi guys, so there are a few things we need to get to, and we're going to start with Walgreens. They have just announced a new free home delivery service for Paxlovid. That's the pill that treats COVID. So this launched today in a partnership with DoorDash and Uber Health. You just need a prescription. Walgreens is doing this because the White House wants pharmacies to help us stay healthy this winter as COVID hospitalizations go up. By the way, Walgreens is also going to start a similar delivery program soon for HIV treatment. So think back to the last time you had a migraine. If you've had one, you know they can be rough. So there's a foundation in Utah that's been working to expand migraine education in public schools there. It's called the Danielle Byron Henry Migraine Foundation, and it's named after a teenager who committed suicide when she was 17 because her migraine symptoms were so bad. They're giving migraine resources to parents, teachers, and students with the goal of making this a national program. It's the holiday season, which means it is also the season of stress. Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and Christmas are all happening over the next few weeks. And no matter what you celebrate, it can be pretty draining. So here's what a licensed therapist says you can do to manage your holiday stress.
It's a season of joy, but holidays can also bring stress.
Whether you're someone who loves the holidays, you dread them, or you're somewhere in between, I think we can all agree that it does bring up a lot of different feelings.
Licensed therapist Jody Baumstein says you can manage holiday stress by tuning in and acknowledging how you feel.
We know that stress will find its way out. So we want to stop and really slow down and pay attention to what we feel, and also notice that there might be shame or judgment attached to it, and we want to get rid of that.
Baumstein says if certain holiday traditions are causing added stress, change them or ditch them altogether. This season, give yourself permission to set realistic expectations. She says setting boundaries is also critical in helping to manage stress.
For you, that might mean that you say no to certain activities. Maybe you and your family have a certain limit, and when you reach that, you don't take on any other things.
Being mindful can help ease anxiety. Baumstein says to use healthy coping skills, slow your breathing, and use your senses to bring you into the present moment. It's also important to appreciate all the good in your life.
We know that when we practice gratitude, it improves our psychological well-being, it improves our overall health, both mental and physical health.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
All right, let's talk about another potential source of holiday stress, COVID. The House passed its new defense spending bill today, and part of the bill says people in the military will no longer be mandated to get a COVID vaccine. Republicans in Congress pushed for this. Republican House Leader Kevin McCarthy called it a victory. The White House hasn't said if Biden would sign the bill if it includes the provision to end the vaccine mandate. Next, the Senate will vote on the bill. And the White House says we need to get our COVID booster shots, so they're launching a 6-week campaign to encourage people to get their boosters. They're going to target people that have been hardest hit by COVID. So far, 35 million people have gotten their updated shots, which isn't a lot considering 267 million people got their initial shot. And kids as young as 6 months can now get the COVID vaccine. This morning, the FDA approved an updated vaccine from Pfizer they say is safe for kids. These bivalent vaccines, as they're called, fight the original strain of COVID and some of the newest strains like Omicron. Pediatricians are worried because not a lot of kids have gotten their vaccine. In fact, the CDC says less than 5% of kids younger than 5 have gotten it. So that's all I have for now. I'll be back at 6:30 with more. I'm Jacob Brooks, TV2 News.
Thanks, Jacob. NASA Ingenuity helicopter just broke one of its own records on Mars. The 4-pound chopper completed its 35th flight on December 3rd and reached a new record altitude of 46 feet. This was Ingenuity's first substantial outing since an 18-second hop and hover maneuver on November 22nd to test the helicopter, after receiving a major software upgrade. The software will help Ingenuity with hazard avoidance on future flights.
Welcome back, everyone. I've got the rest of your weather forecast, so let's get started with what we're going to be seeing overnight tonight. So it's going to be a very chilly one at 29 degrees, cloudy throughout the night and into tomorrow morning. A little bit windy tonight, that's moving northeast at 6 miles per hour, and sunset already happened a little while ago at 4:57. Now overnight we're going to be seeing clouds, low chances of rain, and then we're going to be seeing our sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:39 a.m. And speaking of tomorrow morning, let's take a closer look at that. It's going to start off pretty chilly at 32 degrees at 6 a.m. And by 9 a.m. it's only going to be a little bit warmer at 34 degrees. If you have any early classes, you're going to need to bundle up. And by noon we're going to be up at 41 degrees, so a little bit warmer, but still on the chilly side. And it's going to be partly cloudy all throughout the morning with low chances of rain. And finally, I have our 7-day forecast for the week. There we go. So we're going to be seeing some chillier temperatures into the weekend, 44 on Saturday with clouds, showers on Sunday with a high of 42 degrees. On Monday, it's going to be the chilliest of the week at 39 degrees with clouds. And we're going to be seeing low 40s throughout the rest of the week, partly cloudy on Tuesday and rain on Wednesday and on Thursday. And there's going to be lower chances of rain earlier in the week, but we're going to be seeing a lot more rain as we get farther into the week. So get your umbrellas ready as the week goes on. Now that wraps up my weather forecast. I've been Alexa Blakely. Have a great rest of your night, Portage County.
Thanks, Alexa. And U.S. gas prices are now cheaper than they were a year ago. According to AAA, the average cost of regular unleaded in the U.S. is now $3.33 a gallon. The all-time record high came in June, with gas hitting just over $5 a gallon. Since then, a slowing economy and recession have pushed prices down. Average prices in the U.S. have dropped by 14 cents in the past week and 47 cents in the past month. And holiday shopping is breaking spending records, but Gen Z appears to be more eager than other groups when it comes to hunting for deals at the mall.
On today's Consumer Watch, what economists say is behind that and why Gen Z seems to be unbothered by inflation eating up more of their money this year.
What inflation? In what possible recession? The gloomy economic headlines apparently not worrying one group of excited shoppers this holiday season, Gen Z. That's young shoppers born between 1997 and 2012. And industry experts say they're leading the pack this 2022 holiday shopping season. According to mall operator Preet, which owns shopping centers primarily on the East Coast, Gen Z shoppers were out in force Thanksgiving weekend, a trend expected to continue.
They've grown up with technology and shopping online. It's nothing exciting or new to them.
The National Retail Federation says overall, more consumers are returning to malls and in-store shopping this holiday season, and Gen Z is having a high turnout.
There's much more optimism in spite of the challenges on inflation and price pressures. I think people are really ready to be out there.
The NRF estimates nearly 123 million people visited brick and mortar stores over the Black Friday and holiday weekend. That's up 17% from last year. And when it comes to clothing, industry experts say Gen Z is very picky about brands.
There definitely is a shift among the Gen Z generation regarding fast fashion. They recognize that it's not as good for the environment.
And that's great news for young entrepreneurs like Camila Romero,
Tiger Print,
whose clothing brand caters to a Gen Z customer base.
I'm happy to be a part of that mentality and that wave that's been happening in the fashion industry.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Disney Plus has announced a price increase for its subscribers. The price increases to $10.99 per month, which is a $3 price increase. However, if you're on a budget, Disney has added what's called Disney Plus Basic, which includes ads for a lower subscription price of $7.99 per month. This comes just after a month of when Netflix announced a similar package, including ads for a lower cost. Disney said that their ad support tier will begin in March 2023.
And the streaming platform is not the only one. Price hikes in Disney World in Florida officially take effect today. There are now park-specific pricing for one-day, one-park tickets. This is due to the increasing demand for certain attractions like the Magic Kingdom. Epcot and Hollywood Studios will also have a different price range depending on the date and demand. This is the second price hike this year, as Disney already raised prices in February.
And Apple announced that it is taking a closer step to protect their users' data. They said that they would increase the encryptions of iCloud data, which would make the data less accessible to potential hackers. However, this means that some of this data won't be available to law enforcement. The FBI has already voiced their concerns for this new program.
And Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita is suing TikTok, alleging it inflicts harm on the user. Rokita filed 2 separate lawsuits against the Chinese social media company and says he hopes this pair of lawsuits will stop TikTok's, quote, false, deceptive, and misleading practices, which violate Indiana law, end quote. While TikTok's European privacy policy has been updated to divulge certain access, the U.S. policy fails to do so.
And coming up, Celine Dion has made an announcement regarding her health, how this could affect her upcoming tour and her career.
Kent State football is undergoing quite a bit of change right now. I'll keep you updated when we come back.
The College of Public Health at Kent State University prepares students for careers in some of today's most exciting health fields. Public health professionals impact lives by monitoring clinical trials, advocating for mental health, supporting active lifestyles, and more. The College of Public Health also offers open courses for any major, including its most famous course, Zombie Outbreak. Public health students can even study abroad and are encouraged to join the Public Health Student Alliance. For more information, visit kent.edu/public health. Public health, solving our problems together.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Welcome to your Thursday night TV2 Sports Report. I'm Ryan Shanko, and let's run around the world of sports beginning right now. We start tonight with more updates regarding the Kent State football program after head coach Sean Lewis's reported departure to the University of Colorado. Offensive line coach Bill O'Boyle announced on Twitter that he will be following Lewis to Colorado and joining head coach Deion Sanders' staff. Additionally, several Golden Flashes in the transfer portal confirmed via Twitter that they have received offers from Colorado, including Dante Cephas, Marcellus Marshall, and Savion Washington. Be sure to stick with us on social media at TV2 KSU Sports for updates on this developing story. Shifting to some positive news for Kent State football, sophomore wide receiver Devontae Walker was named the MAC Wide Receiver of the Year by the College Football Network. Walker had a career season, raking in 58 receptions for 921 yards and 11 touchdowns. Walker will look to build on his success for the Flashes next season. And now we go to the court where the Kent State women's basketball team dropped a rough one to Duquesne last night. The Flashes traveled to Pittsburgh holding on to a 4-game win streak, only to have it snapped in disappointing fashion as the Flashes fell 73-67. KSU finished this contest with a season-high 14 three-pointers made and even had a 20-0 scoring advantage from the bench, but it was not enough as the Dukes held Kent State to a 9-point fourth quarter. Kent State will look to bounce back against Hiram on December 11th. And if you watched the Browns' last home game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2 weeks ago, you might have noticed some, well, unique-looking patterns on the grass throughout the contest. Those interesting markings are credited to Anthony O'Neill, a 21-year-old Cleveland man who broke into First Energy Stadium and drove a Ford F-150 onto the playing surface, damaging it, and then fleeing in his own vehicle. O'Neill was charged with breaking and entering and vandalism and will be tried at a later date. Thank you for watching this segment of my TV2 Sports Report. Stick with us. I'll be back with more action in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Ryan. And the Royals got their own show, and no, it's not The Crown. What details were mentioned on the first 3 episodes?
Tonight with a holiday sale held on campus this afternoon.
Our reporter Alexandria Manthey is on the Center of Visual Arts with all the details. Hi, Alex.
Hi guys, that's right. If you still need to do some of your holiday shopping, the Kent State Holiday Art Gallery will be on sale tomorrow here in the CVA Art Gallery. Now, I'll have a recap on what you need to know. The Kent State School of Art held their annual holiday sale today in the Center for Visual Arts to feature student work to the Kent community.
This is the holiday sale. They do it every year around this time. All of the clubs or any of the artists who want to have a booth are welcome to come in, have a booth, sell whatever they'd like. It's all student made.
The sale included a variety of work from various clubs and organizations in the School of Art.
The print people are selling a bunch of printed media, so that includes cards for the holiday, that includes stickers, that includes posters. You also have like the glass students who are selling glass vessels. You've got ceramic students who are selling bowls and cups. You've got jewelry and metals that are selling wearable items.
This gives students opportunities to take their career one step further.
Some of these students have never been able to sell their work, or they don't know what to sell it for, and that's a really good way to find out, like, what is your stuff worth and what can you sell it for and what is the turnover.
With the holidays right around the corner, students say sales like this are important to support small makers when buying cards and gifts.
Everything can seem really immediate these days in terms of how we get the products that we get, but I think coming to a place like this in the School of Art where you have students who are not only learning a craft but then trying to sell that craft and make a little bit of money is a really great opportunity to support the students, but also maybe learn about a technique or a process you didn't know maybe how that process worked until you talked to somebody about it.
The sale is a 2-day event happening tomorrow as well.
It's right before the grad call, so it's going to be sort of like a hectic day, so if people want to get here, I would say get here a little earlier. because I know these students, a lot of them are grads, so they're going to have to get this finished up and then immediately go to the grad crawl right afterward. So if you're going to come, I would get here a little earlier. Plus, all the good stuff's going fast. So if you want something really cool, like, you got to get here soon.
Tomorrow's sale will run from the same time as today's, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. here in the Center for Visual Arts in the CVA Art Gallery. Reporting from on campus, I'm Alexandria Manthey.
Thank you, Alex. And Fab will be hosting their last bingo event of the semester tonight at 7 p.m. in Tahini at the Rathsteller. You can walk in and take a seat right as you get there, and cards will be passed out at 6:45 p.m. to all who are sitting down. There will be 8 rounds of bingo, and prizes include winter wear, Keurig and mug, Squishmallows, blankets, and snowball makers. Bingo capacity is only 185, so make sure you go and secure your seat.
Kent Interhall Council and the Office of Safety and Security hosted a Blizzard Bash in the Student Center Ballroom from 4 to 6 p.m. today. This event had ornament making, decorating your own cookie or gingerbread person, and winter-themed games. There was also raffles for prizes like a vacuum cleaner, LED wall signs, fuzzy socks, and more.
The Kent State University Bookstore held a book signing and Meet the Author event today from 4 to 6 p.m. This event had author Irv Corman, who wrote stories like Citytown Christmas Conundrum, The 8 Nights of Hanukkah, Melton the Adoptable Snowman, and The Legend of Hanukkah Harry. Author and Kent State University alumni A. Callie was also signing copies of her book, #Elfies with Santa.
Kent State University Division of Student Affairs offers opt-in to electronic W-2s and 1095Cs for a chance to win a $50 gift card. To enter the drawing, student employees, faculty, and staff must opt into electronic W-2s by noon on December 16th or January 13th. Opting in the online version will allow students and faculty to access these documents faster and advance with the university's sustainability efforts.
Good evening, Kent State and all of Portage County. I'm your weather anchor, Alexa Blakely. Let's take a look at what's going on currently in Kent. So right now we're sitting at about 45 degrees, but it feels a little bit more like 44. Pretty cloudy out right now. It's a little bit windy and moving north at 2 miles per hour. Very high humidity at 73%. And low visibility of 3 miles. So if you're going to be driving or walking around tonight, you're going to need to be extra careful. Now taking a look as we go farther into the evening, it's going to get a little bit colder as the evening goes on, starting at 39 degrees by 8 p.m., 37 degrees by 10 p.m., and by midnight, we're going to be seeing 35 degrees. So it's going to be getting pretty chilly. It's going to be cloudy throughout the entire evening, but really low chances of rain, so that's nice. And if we take a look at temperatures all across Ohio, we're seeing temperatures pretty close to what we've been seeing, but some colder temperatures like over in Lima at 39 degrees, and some warmer temperatures like 46 in Cincinnati. And if we zoom in now at Northeast Ohio, again, we have some temperatures a little colder than us, 38 at Worcester, 39 in Sandusky. Unfortunately, we do have one of the coldest temperatures in Northeast Ohio today at 39 degrees. But that is all I have for you right now, but stay tuned because I'll be back later with details on the weekend and the 7-day forecast. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Alexa. According to a news release from Lorain County Sheriff's Office, 2 inmates at the Lorain Medina Community-Based Correctional Facility escaped Wednesday night after breaking a window. The inmates who escaped were Johnny L. Brooks, Jr., who was incarcerated for possession of drugs, and Stephen A. Carpenter, who was incarcerated for burglary. They were last seen running on foot and headed southeast.
Ohio youth prison guards are to be armed with pepper spray and body cameras. This comes after a series of assaults and disturbances within the prison. This will hope to decrease the amount of assaults as well as reduce the number of extended prison sentences. The pepper spray is believed to be a safer alternative than physical force to de-escalate situations.
And the Ohio Supreme Court ruled 4-3 today to send a high-profile baby murder case back to Muskingum County for a new sentencing hearing. Emily Weaver delivered a baby girl on April 22nd in 2015. The baby was found dead in a trash can behind a sorority house at Muskingum University. Weaver was convicted of aggravated murder, gross abuse of a corpse, and 2 counts of tampering with evidence for placing her newborn baby in a plastic trash bag, suffocating her.
A last-minute change to a poultry bill would consider natural gas as green energy and require fracking under state-owned land and parks in Ohio. House Bill 507 would force Ohio to lease state parks and public lands for oil and gas drilling. The Ohio Environmental Council said that this could possibly extend to state universities and colleges in the future as well.
Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost filed a lawsuit against Google. The lawsuit is seeking government oversight for the world's largest search engine, and Yost contends Google should be classified as a common carrier. This means it would have to offer its competitors equal placement in search results for users. The trial will begin on May 14, 2024 in Delaware County Common Pleas Court.
After being detained in Russia for almost 10 months, the WNBA star has been freed. I'll explain the prisoner swap that led to Brittany Griner's release.
The House voted today to pass the Respect for Marriage Act. How this will affect gay marriage laws state by state and nationally.
The College of Public Health at Kent State University prepares students for careers in some of today's most exciting health fields. Public health professionals impact lives by monitoring clinical trials, advocating for mental health, supporting active lifestyles, and more. The College of Public Health also offers open courses for any major, including its most famous course, Zombie Outbreak. Public health students can even study abroad and are encouraged to join the Public Health Student Alliance. For more information, visit kent.edu/public health. Public health, solving our problems together.
Welcome back. Brittany Griner has been released today morning from a Russian prison.
That's right, Nathan. Our correspondent Jacob Brooks has more on the details about her release. Jacob?
Hi guys, this is a big story. Brittany Griner has been released by Russia almost 10 months after she was arrested and put in jail on drug charges. This is part of a prisoner swap for international arms dealer Victor Bout. He's getting out early from a 25-year federal prison sentence and will be returned to Russia. President Biden said this morning that Griner is safe, on a plane, and on her way back to the United States. CBS News says the swap took place in the United Arab Emirates. They say Biden approved the final swap agreement last week. And this morning, we also heard from Griner's wife.
Today, I'm just standing here overwhelmed with emotions, but the most important emotion that I have right now is just sincere gratitude for President Biden and his entire administration.
So there is some controversy surrounding this swap because it means another American, Paul Whelan, will stay detained in Russia. The former Marine was detained at a hotel in Moscow in 2018. Russia accused him of spying. In 2020, he was sentenced to 16 years in prison after a trial the U.S. said was unfair. He told CNN that he's happy that Griner was released, but added, quote, "I don't understand why I'm still sitting here."
Sadly, for totally illegitimate reasons, Russia is treating Paul's case differently than Brittany's. And while we have not yet succeeded in securing Paul's release, we are not.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken defended the swap and said Biden made a, quote, hard call. Whelan's brother issued a statement after it was announced. David Whelan said that bringing Griner home was the right decision, as it was to, quote, make the deal that was possible rather than waiting for one that wasn't going to happen. He said the family was warned ahead of time about Griner's release, and he said this softened the blow of knowing his brother would stay in Russia. So this story is still developing, so stay with Kent Wired for updates. I'm Jacob Brooks, TV2 News.
Thanks, Jacob. Now going to Washington, D.C., Senator Chuck Schumer was reelected today as Senate Majority Leader for his second term. The Georgia runoff election between Senator Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker, which Warnock won, set the Democrats' 51-49 majority in the Senate. The Democratic caucus opted to keep their leadership team largely unchanged, save for Senator Patty Murray, who will be President pro tempore of the Senate.
New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is under investigation by the House Ethics Committee. The committee released a statement on the matter Wednesday, but did not yet reveal the reason for the investigation. The conservative Republican group American Accountability Foundation reportedly filed a complaint to the Office of Congressional Ethics about Cortez.
And the House voted today 258 to 169 in favor of passing the Respect for Marriage Act. Now the bill is headed to the desk of President Joe Biden to be signed into law. Once passed, gay marriage will not be federally legalized, but states will have to recognize same-sex marriages from other states. President Biden called the action by Congress a critical step to ensure that Americans have the right to marry the person they love.
And new details have been revealed on the man who is accused of a mass shooting that killed 5 people last month at an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado Springs. Police released screenshots from the surveillance video showing Anderson Lee Aldrich armed with an AR-15 style assault rifle firing upon entering the club. The state has filed a total of 305 formal charges against Aldrich. This is the most filed in a mass shooting case in Colorado, which includes the counts of murder, attempted murder, and bias-motivated crimes.
And a growing number of reported threats to power infrastructure are under investigation following attacks on substations in the South and on the West Coast, as electricity becomes a more critical need in the winter. Now the FBI is involved after reports of shots fired on Wednesday near a power station in Ridgeway, South Carolina. Detectives with Moore County's Sheriff's Office have applied for search warrants as investigators look for more evidence and clues.
Police in Idaho have removed personal belongings from the Moscow home where 4 University of Idaho students were killed in November. The items are now being returned to their families to pick up at a secure location. The investigation continues into who stabbed the 4 students to death on November 13th.
The packages containing You Can Be Anything Barbies. Athena was robbed of the opportunity to grow up to be anything she wanted to be.
Maitland Gandy, mother of murdered 7-year-old Athena Strand, has spoken publicly for the first time at a candlelight vigil since her daughter's passing, saying she wants to, quote, keep her face and her story alive, end quote. Strand's stepmother reported her missing 2 days before her body was found. Tanner Lynn Horner is charged with capital murder and aggravated kidnapping in connection to Strand's death.
Welcome back, everyone. I know you've been waiting for the rest of my weather forecast, so I won't keep you waiting any longer. We're first going to start off with temperatures going into the overnight tonight. So it's going to be a pretty chilly one at 29 degrees overnight. Going to be pretty cloudy throughout the evening and into tomorrow morning, but very low chances of rain. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 7:39 a.m. and overnight we'll be seeing wind at 6 miles per hour. And we saw sunset a little while ago at 4:57 p.m. Now, we take a look at what the weather we're going to be seeing over the weekend. It's going to be cloudy all weekend, actually, with rain on Friday night and then more rain on Sunday morning. We're going to be seeing temperatures in the low to mid 40s and very high humidity, which is weird with the cold temperatures. If we take a look at the rest of the week in our 7-day forecast, 45 degrees tomorrow, 44 on Saturday, and 42 on Sunday. And there we can see that rain on Sunday. On Monday, it's going to be the coldest in the week at 39 degrees. We're going to be seeing clouds then, partly cloudy on Tuesday, but those temperatures are going to start going up as we go farther in the week. 44 on Wednesday and 44 on Thursday. And we are going to be seeing more rain on Wednesday and Thursday as well. That is all I have for this evening. I've been Alexa Blakely. Stay safe and stay warm and have a great night, Portage County.
Thanks, Alexa. Now going to South America, former President Pedro Castillo was impeached and arrested after threatening to dissolve Congress. President Castillo announced plans to dissolve Congress and install an emergency government, ahead of a looming impeachment vote by lawmakers Wednesday morning. Forces rejected Castillo's attempt to sideline lawmakers, calling it an infringement of the Constitution.
Well, my understanding is that given the action of the Congress, he is now former President Castillo. The virtue of democratic systems around the world is the fact that they are self-correcting. We categorically reject any acts that undermine democracy inside of Peru. This is not only a concern of the United States, it is a concern that we share with our...
International officials across the world condemned Castillo's decisions and considered it unconstitutional. Castillo was detained by police in the capital city after he tried to seek political asylum in the Mexican embassy. After the impeachment, former Peruvian Vice President Dina Boluarte became the first female president in Peruvian history. Boluarte is the 6th Peruvian president in under 5 years.
Arab delegations have arrived in Riyadh on Thursday to participate in the Riyadh Arab-China Summit for Cooperation and Development. The Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and his delegation were among the first to arrive. Meanwhile, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman welcomed China's President Xi Jinping at Al Yama Palace, where an official ceremony was held.
Do you have a favorite Christmas movie? See how it ranks against the others as we have everyone's favorite classics state by state.
The NBA leading Celtics traveled to the Valley of the Sun to take on Phoenix last night. I've got the highlights and more.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Welcome back. It's part 2 of my sports report. Highlights and analysis galore await, so let's get right into it. And now, as promised, we are going to go to Phoenix for this game between the Celtics and the Suns. And Chris Paul walks it down to begin the night for Phoenix, and he finds an open Mikal Bridges off the screen, and Bridges punches it down, but that might be as good as it gets for the Suns in this one. Late in the first quarter, Malcolm Brogdon goes baseline and makes the Celtics lead 12. And man, here Cam Payne puts in the floater, and that cuts the lead to 39. Everyone got in on the fun for Boston. Sam Hauser, he came off the bench and buries this three. The Celtics, they went way deep into their reserves tonight. And Peyton Pritchard right here, he puts in his 15th three of the night for the Celtics. They rolled 125 to 98. And now we're going to take you to Salt Lake City, where the Warriors and Jazz squared off in a much more competitive matchup. Jordan Clarkson right there puts the Jazz up 4 with 5 minutes to go. And now 2 minutes to play. Game is tied. Jordan Poole puts in this floater to give the Dubs the lead. And Poole finished this game with 36 points. 13 seconds left now. Utah gets it into Nickeil Alexander-Walker, kicks it out. Malik Beasley puts it in. And that makes it a 1-point game with 7 seconds to go. But they can't, they turn it over, and Simone Fontecchio, dunks it down with 1 second to go, and that seals the deal, giving the Jazz one of the most unlikely wins of the season so far. Utah scored 5 points in 13 seconds and wins 124 to 123. And now it's about some hardware to close out the night. Drum roll, please. My team this semester is the UConn Huskies football team. UConn hired new head coach Jim Mora this offseason, and he admittedly carried minimal expectations because from 2018 to 21, the Huskies went an abysmal 4-32. Mora, however, shocked everyone by leading the Huskies to a 6-6 record and a berth in the Myrtle Beach Bowl this season, their first bowl game appearance since 2015. This unprecedented turnaround is more than worthy of carrying the mantle of my team of the semester. Well, that's all the time that I've got tonight. I've been Ryan Shanko. Thank you for rocking with me tonight and all semester long. Have a wonderful Christmas season.
And this national holiday is celebrating one of my favorite snacks. More on this sweet treat and some fun facts.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
The holiday season is upon us, and that means Christmas movies are making the cultural rounds once again. After analyzing Google Trends, we have a map of the most searched Christmas movies state by state. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, my personal favorite, won out at 80% of the nation's favorite Christmas classics, among other films such as Die Hard and Edward Scissorhands.
Well, if you got a sweet tooth, today is the day for you. December 8th is National Brownie Day. Here's a fun fact. According to legend, brownies were invented at the Palmer House Hotel in Chicago in 1893. The Palmer House brownie included walnuts and an apricot glaze.
Now, I just said my favorite Christmas movie. I want to hear your guys's.
For me, Elf. 100%.
That's my favorite too.
Really?
My family has a tradition where that's the first Christmas movie we watch every year.
Ooh. Mine might be a little bit less well known, but it's actually Jingle All the Way, and it stars Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I've seen that one.
That's when he's getting the action figure.
Yes.
Yes, that
It
one's a
is
banger.
An
I like that one.
amazing movie.
Yes.
I highly recommend.
It's underrated for sure.
Absolutely.
It's a good
You've
one.
seen?
I have.
Very
It's
awesome,
a very
man.
good one. I like it.
Great.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Do we have any hot takes? Any ones that you really popular you don't like?
Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie.
And that is all the time we have for you today.
Thank you so much for joining us for the last time this semester.
For updates on all these stories and more, visit our website, kentwired.com.
And on social media at Kent Wired on all platforms. I'm Alexa Blakely.
I'm Ryan Shanko.
I'm Josh Aponte.
And I'm Nathan Welsh. Have a great night, Portage County.
This is Portage County's TV2, broadcasting from the campus of Kent State University, streaming online at kentwired.com.